somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
The president calling on the NFL to fire players who kneel during the national anthem. He said they're disrespectful, told the fans to leave the stadium when those players refused to stand for the anthem last year. Kaepernick drew national attention for refusing to standing up for racial and social injustice. He says the flag represents a country that, quote, oppresses people of color. So the president urging the NFL to fire players who using their platform to seemingly try to create positive change in their communities where they think they can. Many have asked, should athletes just stick to sports? Should players not use their voices to combat racial and social injustice? If not, then where do you draw the line? Should J.J. Watt not have used his platform to raise nearly $40 million for hurricane relief efforts? Here's some of the NFL player responses to President Trump's comments. Lions' Eric Ebron says, does anyone tell Trump to stick to politics like they tell us to stick to sports? Vikings Bishop Sankey says, shaking my head in awe because Kaepernick is exercising his right as an American citizen to protest. Broncos Max Garcia said, what an emphatic response. Where was this passion in response to Charlottesville? Executive Director of the NFL Players Association, DeMaurice Smith, tweeted this morning, we will never back down. We can no longer afford to stick to sports. In a statement from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell just minutes ago, the NFL and our players are at our best when we help create a sense of unity in our country and our culture. There is no better example than the amazing response from our clubs and players to the terrible natural disasters we've experienced over the last month. Divisive comments like these demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players, and a failure to understand the overwhelming force for good our clubs and players represent in our community. So, the intersection of sports and social issues is becoming a tough pill to swallow for many guys. Sports has always been a respite of sorts from the socialist issues and the politics, and it seems like those days of being able to kick back, watch a game, sip on a cold brew are becoming fewer and far between.
McCoy, what's the difference between what we're seeing here, the comments from Steph Curry and the president rescinding that invitation, and what we saw when the Patriots won and you had Dante Hightower and Chris Long and Martellus Bennett all call out the president specifically and say they weren't going? And the Patriots still were invited to the White House. Do you see any difference there?
There is a slight difference there, okay, because that was just a few players, and you did have a majority of the Patriots who still wanted to go and experience. That is a great honor, right, to be able to go to the White House and the tradition that's there. And so you had many players still going. You had Robert Kraft, who's been an outspoken supporter of Donald Trump in the past. You had Tom Brady, remember, a Make America Great Again hat was found in his locker. So that team had a different dynamic. And I think every individual team, depending on the players and the leadership within those locker rooms, have a different perspective on President Trump and how he's handling some of these social issues.
All right.
Coy, thank you.
You're welcome.